Class is in session.
Hello everyone, today we're going to be playing Ori and the Blind Forest in this episode of Why It's Cool. Ori and the Blind Forest is a single-player platform adventure game produced by Moon Studios and published by Microsoft Studios. It was a very simple game at its core, simple puzzles and platformers, and it was released to critical acclaim. As of E3 2017, they have announced a sequel to it, Ori and the Will of the Wisp. All in all, this game has a lot of simple gameplay, puzzles. You'll see me mess up here on some of the issues in the game with some of the controller settings. I didn't have everything set up just the way I needed to for a DualShock 4 controller. I did have to use a DS4 Windows mod to be able to get it to work correctly, so this game does play a lot better with an Xbox controller. But once you get the DS4 set up, it'll work just as good. One of the unique things about this game that I really liked is you can pick up these blue energy cells. The blue energy cells give you the opportunity to actually save your game anywhere. So if there's a puzzle coming up that you know is fairly difficult, you can actually just save right before it and try and get an attempt on it over and over. It's one of my favorite pieces about it, at least. This game caught my attention initially simply because of the music. The music and the art puts this game so far ahead of anything else I've ever played. The music in here inspires me to go and do other things, like work out, or whenever I'm working on a project, I pull up the soundtrack in the background and listen to it. Every season I grind out Diablo 3 levels, I put the Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack on. It's one of those things that just gets me right at the heart. And as you'll see at the end of this, when we stop our discussion, I'm actually going to have the opening cutscene, which is about 8 minutes long when you rush through it. And it's going to give you a quick example of the mindset that you get into with this game. All in all, your goal is to play as this little white fox thing. It's called a sign. You're a guardian spirit, and you are the light and eyes of the forest spirit tree. Your goal is to restore light to the forest. As you play through the game, you may notice a bunch of similarities to Disney stories. The game was actually inspired by The Lion King and the Iron Giant, and you'll see the gameplay element has similar things to the way Rayman and Metroid franchise play. It really brings me back to a bunch of the old school platformers that grew growing up. It's a different type of genre from everything that you see nowadays. Everything tends to be really complex, and at its core, it is a very simple game. This is one of the games that I would actually be interested in picking up as a speedrunning game. I've loved it for a long time. It's been fantastic to me, and I highly recommend everyone check out this game. So the skill tree that you're just seeing there are different abilities that you can get. You use the skills that you'll see, the little orange orbs. They're essentially the experience that you get playing through the game. You use those to unlock new traits for Ori to help you get through the game. You don't have to use any of them. Most of them are going to be helpful as far as like destroying enemies or bosses that you have to fight. All in all, it's just stuff to make the game easier. You can make some of those orbs float to you from further away. You can make your fire hit a little harder. You can make your glide give you a little bit more speed. You don't need any of this stuff to actually beat the game, though. So one of the next places that we're going to see right here is this is a well. You can go into the well and save your game here, and then you don't always have to have your energy up. If you go into those and save, you can keep your energy for when you get to a harder part in the game. So much of this game just speaks to me that I really don't know what to say. It's one of those you just have to experience for yourself. If you are into music and art and love watching the two of them come together, Ori and the Blind Forest does it in a way that is just beautiful. Never have I seen a game put together something in such a sincere and poetic manner as Ori and the Blind Forest. All in all, this was my favorite game of 2015. I got the definitive edition, and I would recommend playing that over the regular one if you have both. All in all, they're the same thing for the most part. The definitive edition delves a little bit more into the story, so you can get a little background on Ori and the sign, the Tree of Life, but I highly recommend you check it out. I hope you guys get the chance. Have a wonderful afternoon. This has been another episode of Why It's Cool. Stay tuned, and we're going to see the opening cutscenes. Have a good one.
Sing for Santa. Sony Chukwa. Shindy Quarter in War. Sin